Well, I'm back, and so does the Champions League. Let's do this. As we all know, the Champions League competition is going to be resumed in a couple hours time, so I'm gonna make this as quickly as possible right now. So I'm gonna be predicting the last 16 for the Champions League. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Let's not waste our time right here. So let's begin now with the first tie, RB Leipzig v Manchester City. Of course, the football story has been dominated by Manchester City off the pitch controversy, because Premier League has charged them for breaching the financial fair play rules. Whether or not it's going to affect them massively to compete for the Champions League is still remains to be seen. And their league form lately has been not good for them. But of course, there's a reason why I think this team can win this competition, because in the Champions League, anything can happen. And when you sign one of the best strikers in the world of haaland, you know that this team is seriously wants to win this competition badly more than any other team. So this is gonna be a pretty big challenge for them to whether or not they can be competitive in these knockout stages. And as for RB Leipzig, lately has been not good for them, but they're still competing for the Champions League spot, led by one of the best players in their team and one of the best players in the Bundesliga, Christopher Nkunku, and on the returning form of Timo Werner, and of course their main center back of Josko Vardio. So it's not going to be a piece of cake for Manchester City, of course, because Leipzig is a very good team and they actually beat them previously in last season's group stages, so they have some experience though. But I do believe, I think Man City will beat them just about against RB Leipzig. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Leipzig in the first leg before Man City complete the comeback in the second leg to win 3-0, 4-2 on aggregate. Now for the Brugge versus SL Benfica tie. Now these two teams have done a really good job to get far in this competition, particularly on Club Brugge. They've done a really good job to get past Atletico, Bayern Leverkusen, and of course FC Porto, even though they finished in second. But defensively have been really solid, I would say. So that's something you have to keep an eye for in this tie though. For Benfica, I mean lately has been up and down, and they just lost Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea, but as a whole in 2023, I would say they've been by far the better team compared to Club Brugge, because Brugge currently not in the top 4, not even fighting for Europe, I would say. So I would say Benfica might have this tie wrapped up for sure, but of course it's just a Champions League, so anything can happen, I would say. But I'm taking Benfica this for sure. I'm gonna say a 1-0 win for Benfica away from home before they come back to Estadio da Luz with a 3-0 win in the second leg. So I'm gonna say a 4-0 Benfica win and moving them to the last 8. Right, Liverpool beat Real Madrid. Now this is an interesting matchup, of course, because not only they met them once again just like back in last season's Champions League final, but this time around it's a bit interesting because both teams currently not playing well. Liverpool as a whole this season, I mean, it's just been a car crash for them. Midfield is still their weaknesses. Their attacking prowess from last season has not been the same. Defensively has been even more shocking. I mean, as a whole, Liverpool has just been a disappointment team, not just in the Premier League, but also the entire top 5 leagues, because this is a team that fighting for 4 trophies last season, had high expectations coming into the season, and it's been a letdown this time around. Compared to Real Madrid, I mean, they just won the Club World Cup, but currently sitting 11 points behind their rivals. Their form, I would say, has been lately has been poor. They just lost against Mallorca in the league though. So who I think is gonna win is still a question to be asked. But I think Liverpool in Anfield has been really good in Europe, I would say. So I'm gonna go for a Liverpool win. I'm gonna say a 2-0 win, I would say, before Real Madrid will probably do another great comeback like they did last season, I would say. So I'm gonna say a 3-0 win in the second leg for Real Madrid, I would say. So a 3-2 aggregate win. I mean, it's gonna be a close game though. So I'm gonna stick with my prediction with Real Madrid. Alright, the next tie, it is Milan v Tottenham. Now this probably the most interesting tie of this round, because both teams currently playing terribly, of course, and have been inconsistent this season. Particularly on us, we just got spanked by Leicester. Bentancur is injured. Højbjerg is suspended for the first leg. Bissouma is injured. Lloris is injured. Fraser Forster, our backup goalkeeper, just let in 4 goals against Leicester. It hasn't been good for us lately, I would say. But But the blessing in disguise is Milan also are in the bad form. I mean, since Milan getting injured a couple of weeks ago, they have been conceding goals for fun. Their defense has been horrific to watch for any AC Milan fans. Their midfield is not good enough. Attacking lately has been non-existent, I would say. So this is a pretty interesting matchup between these two teams. But I'm gonna have to stick with my boys because the key point right now is Milan is injured. That's the most important thing, because had Milan not injured, it would have been difficult for us. But we had to take advantage in this Milan absence, and I would say I'm gonna go for a 1-0 win at the San Siro. And then in the second leg, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 0-0 draw at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So we're gonna say a 1-0 win for us against AC Milan. It's not gonna be an easy, but hopefully my boys will do the job against AC Milan. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and of course like this video. And of course comment down below who do you think is gonna win the Champions League. Let us know in the comments below. Now back to the video. So it's Dortmund v Chelsea's next tie. Let's talk about Chelsea first. They signed a lot of players. Signed Enzo, Mudryk, and Joao Felix, which is the notable one, of course. But performance lately not been good for Chelsea though. When you rely Havertz as their striker to score goals, yeah, you're gonna be in trouble, of course though. And as for Dortmund on the other hand, they've been playing well lately. They're currently sitting in the top 4. Jude Bellingham is their main star, of course, with 4 goals in the Champions League. And you got another young star of Yusuf Moukoko, and also the return of Sebastian Haller from long illness, and also Marco Reus. And a lot of people are gonna say Dortmund win, but something in my mind that Chelsea might win this title. I'm not gonna lie though. So I'm gonna go for a Chelsea win, and I do believe if Chelsea can get a result at the Iduna Park, I think they could win this tie for sure though. So I'm gonna go for a Chelsea win. I would say if they can keep a clean sheet, I think they could be in good shape. So I'm gonna go for a 0-0 first leg, and the second leg, I think they will put up a show in Stamford Bridge. I'm gonna say a 3-0 win in the second leg for Chelsea makes it a 3-0 aggregate win for Chelsea. So I think they're gonna probably for them to go through to the next round. Alright, the next tie we got Inter Milan versus FC Porto. Now for Inter Milan, I mean this season has been a complete 180 what they did back at the start of the season, I would say. And Lautaro Martinez has found his form lately, and the fact that they got out of the group with the likes of Bayern and Barcelona in their group respectively, that's a job well done for them, I would say. Edin Dzeko and Lautaro Martinez are a great strike partnership duo, I would say, so that's going to be pretty interesting what they're going to do against FC Porto. And as for FC Porto, they're currently sitting in the second place, still right behind their rivals Benfica. But they got Mediterranean, who is a great goal scorer for their teams, scoring double-digit goals in the Portuguese league. But they got a goalkeeper named of Diogo Costa, who is, by the way, a great goalkeeper. There's a reason why some of the top European clubs are going after him, including us, of course though. The reason why I say him, because I'm gonna go for a Porto win, and I'm gonna say first leg it's probably gonna be a dull 0-0 draw, and then in the second leg at the Estadio do Dragão of the Porto Stadium, it's gonna be a goal fest. I'm gonna say a 2-2 second leg before the game will go down to penalty. Now, why I say Diogo Costa? Because he is a great penalty stopper, of course. I do believe, I think I'm gonna trust him more than even Onana or even Andanovic, I would say. So it's gonna be a tight one. I'm gonna go for them to win penalties on 3-1, and Diogo Costa saving 2 of them from probably from Brozovic or even from Dzeko. That's what I said, so I'm gonna go for a Porto win over Inter. Right, next up it is Frankfurt versus Napoli. Now, this is gonna be a pretty interesting title because Frankfurt won the Europa League last season, and they got a star in the making of Kolo Muani from France. Daichi Kamada has also been fantastic for them this season. They got a great team in the making for Frankfurt. They might go far in this competition. And then you're coming up against a Napoli side who currently sitting top of the Serie A table, looking to win their first title in over 30 years. I mean, it's been a long time for Napoli fans for them to see them win a Serie A title. And when you lost Insigne, Mertens, Koulibaly, and then replaced with Simeone, Kim-min-jae, Kvaratskhelia, everyone thought it's gonna be a win-now season for Napoli. But oh boy, I mean, they have become the best team in Europe in terms of performance-wise. I mean, they've been spectacular this season, I would say. Even though I say a lot of good things about Napoli, I'm gonna go for shock of the round here. I'm gonna go for Frankfurt over Napoli, because I think they want to focus more on Serie A, because I'm gonna believe so they're gonna focus more on the Serie A titles. And for Frankfurt, they are a good side in Europe, I would say, so I'm gonna go for a win for Frankfurt at home in the first leg. So I'm gonna say a 3-1 win, and then in the second leg I think Napoli will put up a fight, but it would not be enough. I'm gonna say a 1-0 second leg for Napoli, 3-2 on aggregate. Frankfurt will advance to the last 8. Alright, the final tie of this last 16 matchup, it is PSG v Bayern Munich, of course. One story is gonna be keep an eye on it. Will Messi and Mbappe be recovered in time to be featured in the first leg against Bayern? But lately for PSG has not been good for them. They just lost against Monaco in the league. They could potentially losing the league, I would say. Then you compare to Bayern Munich, still sitting at the top of the table, but there have been two major reinforcements of the team. One being with Manuel Neuer being injured for the rest of the season. They now have Jan Sommer, former Borussia Mönchengladbach goalkeeper, who is by far a solid goalkeeper for them. And of course, they just signed João Cancelo on loan from Manchester City. That is a big reinforcement. I'm gonna say many times for the start of the season, I don't trust PSG to win the Champions League. And I said it many times, I don't trust them. So that's the reason why I'm picking Bayern over PSG to win this title. So I'm gonna say Bayern will win 1-0 in the first leg, before Bayern will come at home and destroy PSG's hope of another Champions League glory. So I'm gonna say a 3-0 second leg win for them, 4-0 on aggregate for Bayern Munich. Well, that's it. That's my prediction for the last 16 or so. Hope you guys agree with it. I know some of the predictions I made is pretty wild, but this is football, anything can happen. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys enjoy the video that you watch all over the world. And with that, we'll see you guys soon. Bye!